Hi, everybody. It's Stacy Sobel with Salon Today, and today we're going to delve into skincare. I'm with Sean Bach. He's the president of franchising for Heyday. And Sean, could you tell us a little bit about Heyday because it's a different concept out there in the market?
Sure. Heyday, we have 11 locations around the country, primarily New York City, Philadelphia, and LA. And really what we've done is we've taken the service of a facial outside of a day spa or a resort and focused not on the beauty side of a facial, but really on wellness, helping people try and take care of their skin on a monthly basis.
Great. Now you have a very ambitious goal. You're going to try to grow to 300 franchises in the next 5 years.
Yes.
The specific geographic area you're targeting, or you're looking all over the U.S.?
Yes. Well, it is an ambitious goal, and I've been in franchising for 15 years, so I understand there's a lot of ambitious goals of new franchise concepts that come out. But I think what really makes us different is that we've raised the capital to build a brand that's going to attract the best franchisees. And so to date, over the last 6 months since our announcement, we have 9 franchisees on board. L5 is serving as our anchor franchisee, and they're committing to opening 60 locations in 5 years. So what will happen is over the course of the next year, we'll be opening 25 locations and really generating that national kind of attraction. And the reason we have that number set of 300 is because our equity partners, L5 Capital, they have a really great real estate research and analytics department. So they've really run the numbers on like-kind businesses, Sephora, Ulta, Massage Envy, Drybar, you name it. And what they found is there's about approximately 540 opportunities or trade areas in the 54 top metropolitan areas. So places like LA, San Francisco, all of the obvious big cities, but we're also seeing opportunities in places like Boise, Idaho, or in San Antonio, Texas. So we feel like we have a lot of confidence in hitting that 300 number because of those reasons.
Great. Now, you are a single service kind of focused business along with Massage Envy or Drybar. You're focusing on facials.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that service on the menu. Are there ways to personalize it for different clients? And what does the service menu look like?
Yeah, so personalization is one of our key differentiating factors. Most of the time when you are going to get a facial, there's a menu of 10, 12 different types of facials. But what we've found is that the client may not know what their skin issues are. And so our big belief is you book what we call the basic facial. You come in, it's 50 minutes, and the esthetician in the initial consultation will determine what's the best course of action for you. So what we do there is then we make the recommendations based upon what the esthetician is seeing from the skin behavior, but also what the goals are of the client. So it's really a collaborative solution-based effort. The other differentiating factor for us is that our back bar is very expansive. So most day spas or resorts that you go into, they're dedicated with 1 or 2 product lines. And we all know that product lines, there's usually 2 to 3 hero SKUs and then others that maybe not as effective. And so our estheticians have the ability to pick all of the hero SKUs from about 14 or 15 of our retail partners who we're using from a back bar perspective.
Oh, that's amazing. So it is also membership based.
Correct.
So kind of explain how that concept works for clients.
Sure. So that is a big trend. You're hearing subscription, you're hearing membership based in a lot of areas. And, some businesses, it lends itself to doing that. I think lashes is a really great example of there is a real reason of why you're coming in 3-4 weeks out of the month. Skincare is the same way. Our skin cells in our face actually regenerate every 28 days. So we have that as a component of why we're a big believer in monthly membership. On top of that, your body has changes, every month. Seasonal changes happen from a weather perspective. So it's always good from a monthly check-in to stay on top of your skincare needs. And so what we did probably in the first quarter, we really looked at our value proposition with our membership program. And we really took a look in the mirror and said, this is not good enough for our clients. And we wanted something more compelling. So at that time, about 30% of our services were performed on members. So what we did is we increased the value proposition in terms of the savings of the basic facial. We reduced the enhancements that a member, reduced the cost of an enhancement for a member. In addition, we made it very easy from a cancellation standpoint. It was a 30-day cancellation as opposed to a 6-month or 1-year commitment. And lastly, and probably the biggest feature, is that any credits that are built up can actually be converted into gift card. It can be converted into purchasing of products in the shop, or it can be gifted to friends. So you combine all of those value propositions, and what we've done is we made a concerted effort on educating our clients about this new opportunity. So we've gone from 30% of our facials being performed on members, and just last week, we had an audacious goal of 70% of our services were performed on members. So it's obviously sticking in terms of what we're trying to achieve.
Now, does that membership price vary versus market, or is there an average membership? And it's a monthly price?
Yes, it's a monthly price. It'll range anywhere between $85 to $105 depending on what market you're in. So we take a very realistic approach in terms of what our clients in New York are paying will not be the price that our clients in a Dallas or a Phoenix may be paying. So there'll be basically about 3 price band options at this point, anywhere from 85 to 105.
Now, on your locations, are your estheticians employees, or are they rentals? How does it work? And what's the average size?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the average size of our locations are about 2,000 square feet. That means we'll have anywhere between 6 to 8 treatment rooms per location. In terms of number of estheticians, that roughly equates to about 15 estheticians on average. And so I think one of our other key differentiators coming into the market is we really believe that we can be the employer of choice for estheticians for a couple of reasons. One is that the creativity I talked about in the treatment room, they can play with all sorts of products to really create an effective personalized facial for that client. That our estheticians have said that is a game changer for them. The other thing is that they've never really been in an environment, if they're in love with skincare, they've never been in an environment that has 14, 15, 16 other estheticians that they are working off of, learning from. And so that dynamic then creates a really great family atmosphere. And then the last component is probably the most important, is pay, right? So they are employees of ours. We consider them part of the family. We make a large investment in terms of ongoing training for them. So, and beyond that, what we're really trying to do is, they get an hourly rate, they get commissions on the enhancements and the products that they sell. And obviously, they get really great tips because of our average ticket. So
great. So their employees, do they get benefits as well?
So our company-owned operations do provide benefits. With our franchisees, it's going to be totally up to them in terms of how they plan on rolling out opportunities for estheticians. Okay,
great. Now you talk a lot about how Heyday's view on the facial is it's part of an overall wellness routine. Mm-hmm. What are you doing in your markets to kind of market that idea and that concept to the communities?
Here's what we found. We found that there's a line in the sand in terms of generations. So my generation grew up, and when we went outside, we put baby oil on our skin to attract the sun and to get a tan, right?
I did that.
Right. So in 1988, the Food and Drug Administration came out, and what they said is, we are approving this new lotion with what's called sun protection factor. SPF is what we call it today. Sun protection of, I think it was 4 was the approval. And what that did is that signaled to moms everywhere, oh my gosh, I need to take care of my kids' skin, because what the FDA is saying is prolonged sun exposure is harmful, right? And so we have a generation who grew up really being taught, hey, it's really important to take care of your skin. So my generation went outside to from a beauty standpoint. The younger generation, they're already programmed about, no, I'm supposed to take care of my skin. So it's actually a little foreign to them that, like, it's not about taking care of it from a wellness perspective. So the other thing that we've seen is, if you look at Google Trends on skincare routine and how popular that search term has gotten, it's skyrocketed over the last 5 years. So there's a couple of things, playing to that factor. One is all of the noise and products out there. People just don't have a go-to resource that's objective in providing great guidance and advice. So that's where we think we can play into that factor of, we have bricks and mortar location where they're going to be talking to licensed estheticians about product recommendations. 80% of our product lines you cannot find in Sephora and Ulta. So we have some unique characteristics of up and coming brands. So when you take that approach and you try to cut through the clutter, we don't have our own product line, so we're not pushing something just to push something. If we're looking to be a problem solver, clients are attracted to that.
Great. We've also seen some studies coming out after the pandemic that are changing people's perspective on skincare as well. Number one, because they're doing things like this. They're in Zoom looking at themselves all day, every day.
Exactly.
But also just the wellness, the relaxation component of having a facial, and that people really need that right now.
Very much so. We've definitely seen a bounce back in terms of post-COVID customer demand. It's the numbers in terms of our membership conversion speak for itself, where people are really committing to taking care of themselves. I think people came out of this COVID time really focused on, how do I take care of myself in the long run? And so we're that solution from a skincare perspective.
Now, who's the ideal client for Heyday?
You know what? That's a really great question, because the answer may surprise you. It's really somebody who is looking to be a student and committed to a routine. So that runs across the gamut in terms of gender and age, right? So you may have somebody like myself who's a middle-aged man who's like seeing the fine lines and the hyperpigmentation and is saying to themselves, I need to do something. And they can come to Heyday and they can learn about their core four. They can learn about their cleanser and what type of SPF moisturizer they should be doing. And so if they can commit to that routine, then we know that they're going to commit to being a Heyday client. Now, we can also have some very experienced clients coming in who are looking to really just expand their knowledge. And so what I'd say is, it's really people who are open to learning about how to take care of their skin. I think ultimately those are going to be our best clients.
Great. You talked about all these lines. What are some of the lines that you are partnering with?
Yeah, so some of the lines from a larger perspective, Naturopathica is a really great line, great partners for us. Image is another one. Then we have really up and coming, concepts like Shefali, Alchemy has been around for quite a while, but we run the spectrum. And I think part of our opportunity with our retail partners is to work with them, because we're their test lab. When you think about it, like as we expand to 25 locations, 75 locations, we're going to give them real-time information in terms of what's working and what's not working. Beyond that, we made the 15% pledge last year. And, a lot of companies, during the Black Lives Movement really made that effort. But I think we're the only company that is providing updates on where we're landing and how we're doing. So not only have we hit our goal of more than 50% carrying Black-owned businesses, but we've taken on 2 consulting projects with up and coming product lines from women who are African American and own their own skin line, and how do we how do we help them?
Great. That's excellent news. Finally, I imagine if you have this audacious goal to grow to 300 locations, you're looking for franchisees. So who's the ideal person that you're tapping for that? And what do they need to come to the table with?
Yeah, great question. So what they need to come to the table with is a minimum of investment of about $750,000, which gets you to one location open. And from a loan perspective, you can put down about $200,000 with an SBA loan and get open. And so that we really have three ideal candidates. So the first one is someone who's really passionate about skincare, loves the sector, is looking to leave their job and do this full time. And that's kind of one ideal candidate. We have another one who we call a team builder. And these are people who are multi-unit franchisees who want to help grow their team through new opportunities. So one of our franchisees in Cleveland, she's a dry bar franchisee. She's come on to Heyday because she wants to really reward her team members who are really helping her grow her business. And then lastly, we have what we call the empire builders. And these are really like companies like L5, private equity. We're seeing a lot of private equity companies coming into the franchisee space who are building out multiple markets. The good news is we have plenty of white space and opportunity to do like a 40 unit deal or 40, 60 unit deal that L5 did. So those are the three main types of ideal candidates for us.
Now, the first one, this is kind of the solo operator. Are you looking for people who already have experience in beauty, or can they just be people that are interested in skincare but are not estheticians?
Yeah, interested in skincare and really, have high EQ. Really can relate to people on a very quick manner. So if you think about it, the key to success with Heyday or with any service-based business is the happiness and enjoyment of the service providers. So it's the esthetician. So if you have somebody who can create a really great culture and the estheticians stay for a long time, that's a really, really great business to run. So somebody with high EQ, somebody who really knows how to manage people, somebody who can interact with clients. You can really tell within the first 5 minutes whether or not somebody's going to click with people.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, Sean, thank you so much. We really appreciate it and learning more about Heyday and your plans for the future. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your time. Really thoughtful questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.